Hi everybody, my name is Vince and I'll be talking about narrative tenses today. These are tenses that we use to talk about things that happened in the past in a narrative, so maybe some stories, anecdotes, jokes. And obviously, since this is happening in the past, we're going to be using our past tenses, starting with past simple, past continuous, past perfect simple, and past perfect continuous. So now we're going to see how they can all work together in a nice little story that we have going here. And here's the story. I went to my brother's house. He was watching TV when I arrived. Then I realized that I had left the stove turned on. I ran home, but I was too late. My house had been burning for several hours. So, now that we've read the sentence, let's look at the grammar of these sentences and how they relate. The reason why we have these sentences is to talk about how these actions relate in time. And we can see, and the first thing we need to do is start off with now, which is when I'm telling the story. So clearly all of this will happen before the now. And since we have went in the past simple, this will be our starting, which will be just one period of time, a small finished action with known time. So this will be our went, this will be the time when I went to my brother's house. So the next sentence we have is he was watching TV when I arrived. So, let's look at the present simples first. We have went and arrived. Went clearly happens before I arrived, so me arriving is next. Is just a small event in this part of time. And was watching is the action that my brother was doing while before I came, so it is an ongoing action that is interrupted by my coming. He may have stopped watching TV, or he may have not, but all we know is this is what he was in the midst of doing when I arrived. Alright, so now we've talked about past simple and past continuous. Now let's move on with the story. Then I realized, again, just a past simple. Going to that, I had left the stove turned on. Now this is where we get into a lot of the time traveling here with our story. I had left the stove turned on. Alright, we don't actually know when I left my stove on. We just know that it happened before I realized that I had left my stove on, and logically before I went to my brother's house. So, in any of this time, maybe here, I could have left my stove turned on. So, now we continue on with the story. I ran home, another past simple, which means it's going to be linear to the story. Keep going. Ran home, but I was too late. And now we get to the kicker. My house had been burning for several hours. If we look at this grammatically, we have had plus verb 3, which is the grammatical structure of a past perfect simple sentence, and that's combined with the verb to be plus verb plus ing, so be and burning of past continuous. And so when we put them together, we have past perfect continuous. And in a way, it works the same grammatically. We have a start date that happens before we arrive, before we ran home and we're too late. But it's a process that's been going on, according to this sentence, for several hours. So any of this long time, my house has been burning. Alright, so that's narrative tenses for you guys. I hope it makes sense for you guys and hope it will be helpful.